Hey, it's Chico. And if you are struggling to get deals done in today's real estate market as a wholesaler, as a real estate investor, you need more leads. And the old school strategies, they're just not cutting it. Cold calling, doing SMS, direct mail, driving for dollars, all that stuff, you've got to put an end to that. There are an unlimited amount of motivated sellers that are out there waiting for you, and that is they're there if you know how to find them. And how we find them is through digital marketing and through running ads online. And I'm not talking about just Facebook ads. We've got some new kids on the block, and I want to share with you specifically what we're doing in our real estate business that we there's no way that we can even humanly handle all the leads that we can generate. And at the end of the day, you know, the leads is the most important thing. You could be the most amazing real estate investor. You could have a gazillion ways of slicing and dicing a deal. But if you don't have any leads, you're not going to make any money. However, if you barely know how to tie your shoes together, you barely know how to put two words together, and you are the most horrible real estate investor on earth. If you have an abundance of leads, I don't care how bad you are, you're going to stumble on deals. All right. So, what are we doing right now in 2024 to find motivated sellers? Well, let me show you. Here we go. Number one, this is the newest kid on the block. We're using TikTok advertising. And let me tell you, back about 2 years ago or so, when I first started, Facebook still gives us lead. And Facebook was the new kid on the block. And man, we were killing it with Facebook. I want to talk about primo leads. So guess what? This here is the new kid on the block. And I've got a lot of campaigns. I wanted to show you at least a couple here. We are generating leads in a smaller geographic region. I'm not talking about nationwide. I'm talking about a grouping of states. And we're generating leads for $15 per lead. This is a property owner that has submitted their information, that has said, yes, I'm interested in selling my property at a discount. And let me tell you, it's amazing, the lead quality. And we're getting great leads. And this here is a new kid on the block. You can't be sleeping on this. And again, this is perfect for you. If you're starting off, I recommend you starting off with the social media platforms. You start off with TikTok, you start off with Facebook ads, you get that going, you set up your infrastructure that's needed in terms of, the technology behind the scenes, the website and everything else. And then from there, you migrate into some of the more advanced ones that I'm going to share with you here. Now, let's talk about the old kid on the block. And that old kid on the block is Facebook. Facebook still generates leads, still generates deals. And the cost per lead is just a little bit higher, but it's still pretty low. Cost per lead on TikTok, 15. Here on Facebook, if you're targeting a grouping of geographic states, typically we target about 21 states. Cost per lead, depending, could be anywhere between $20 to $35. So I would say an average of $25 per lead. This is, again, a property owner that submitted their information, has given us a lot of information about the property in terms of the condition of the property, how soon they're looking to sell, whether or not the property is listed or not, what is their asking price. They're giving us a lot of details, and we're getting these for a very small amount of money, these leads. Just imagine every single morning you wake up and you have these leads showing up in your inbox. Now, let's talk about Google. Now, Google is going to be more expensive than Facebook. Google is also a very specific platform that you have to set up correctly. And if you don't, then Google will take your money. It will take all of your money, and they're not going to give you any leads. But if you set it up correctly, then it's a game changer. Now, there's a couple components of Google. And a lot of people think of Google and they think about Google search, but it's not just Google search anymore. Yes, you can do Google search. However, Google search is somewhat saturated, a lot of competition. It's really only viable if you spread it out among a variety of different states. If you are going to do Google lead generation and you're going to be focused on a very tight market, say one or two particular counties, you're going to spend a lot of money, depending on the county, anywhere between $300 to maybe $500 or more per lead. To get that cost per lead down into the 40 to 50 range, you're going to have to go wider. And again, Google searches where somebody types in "sell my house fast." But this is the old kid on the block when it comes to Google. This is the new kid on the block, or the newer, because we got some new kids on the block. Performance Max. Now, Performance Max is a campaign type in Google where you load into this campaign a bunch of different assets. You load up videos, you load up images, you load up search, search headlines and descriptions, and you put it all together and you feed it to Google. And then what Google is able to do is you could tell Google, hey, I want to target anyone who search these phrases, sell my house fast, we buy houses. And so then now what Google will do is it will find these individuals through all of their properties on YouTube, on search, on discovery, and Gmail and all their platforms. And then they will go ahead and serve them ads. The ads that they serve them will very much depend on where they're at. If they happen to be on YouTube, then they will see a YouTube video ad. And so Performance Max enables you to take and really focus on the audience. So rather than saying being platform specific, where you go on search and you say, hey, I want people that search for this, what you're telling Google is, hey, I want all these individuals. And there's a variety of different signals. There's a lot of different nuances to targeting. So I'm just using this as an example, but you can say, hey, I want all the people that search sell my house fast. I want you to show them my ads. And now you're in a less competitive environment because 30% of the people at best, someone who does a search campaign and then gets people to their website, at best they're going to do a 30% conversion. That means 70% of the people leave and never fill out the form. Well, you're coming and you're getting a hold of these people through these other channels. Now, the next campaign that Google has rolled out is Demand Gen. Now, Demand Gen is a different type of campaign that takes that publishes to the YouTube Shorts, the InStream, and a few other areas. The difference with Demand Gen versus Performance Max is Performance Max, you identify the individuals, and then you're going to go out and target them at the various different platforms that Google owns. Demand Gen is that you're feeding the campaign information about your target prospect, and then now Google's using that information to go out and try and find new prospects for your business. So we're talking about finding people that maybe are in that pre-stage, the stage before they go out and are ready to make a decision and start talking to people. And now you're potentially putting yourself in front of these individuals. And finally, but not least, and this is not a new kid on the block, but it is newer from the standpoint that there's not that much competition because there's really not a whole lot of people advertising, especially in the real estate wholesaling and investing space on YouTube, and that is YouTube ads. And that's because it requires more work. It requires a particular type of creative. But you can do the same thing with YouTube. You can say, hey, Google, I want you to show my video ad to anyone that has searched sell my house fast. And now that person does that search, maybe doesn't fill out a form, and then decides, you know what? I'm tired of filling out these We Buy Houses people's websites. I'm going to go watch me some YouTube videos. And guess what? Your ad is going to show up there on YouTube. And those are the main ways right now that we're using in order to find motivated sellers on online and through online marketing. Now, there are some requirements for this. Number one is you got to put some money in the cash register. You got to be able to spend some money. Now, how much money we're talking about? If you are advertising on TikTok and on Facebook, then I recommend a budget of about $750 to $1,000 per month. The benefit is that you don't give that whole money to the platform right away. You advertise, $20, $25 at a time. So you can run the campaign at $25 a day for 10 days, pause it, deal with all the leads, turn it back on. But if you're advertising on social, then you can get away with a smaller budget. Now, if you're advertising on Google, you need to be able to put more money in the register. So you're going to have to consider a budget on Google. I think at a minimum is $1,500 a month, and that is a very, very light budget. You're better off in the budget of somewhere around $2,000 to $2,500 ish per month at a minimum. If you're just starting out in the platforms, I recommend starting off right now. I recommend actually starting off with TikTok ads, also with Facebook. So you have both of those going on there. It allows you to establish your systems, your processes in terms of, hey, how the leads are going to come in and how are they going to be handled. It gives you an opportunity to put together your website that is going to be a requirement for you to be able to run these type of campaigns. You get some leads, you get some deals under your belt, and then you will then bring in Google into the equation and all their properties. Now, the other thing that you have to keep in mind is that, none of this is magic. And by that, I mean that at the end of the day, it's never one thing that makes a difference. It's a combination of things that make the difference. Here, you're solving the lead generation issue, meaning that you're now able to no longer struggle with finding leads. But this business is a people business. You have to be able to speak with property owners over the phone, to make them feel comfortable with you, to be able to handle all of their objections and all the deal with all the nuances of a conversation, to be able to get them from just having a simple conversation with you in the beginning to then signing a contract, so then that way you can go ahead and wholesale the property. Now the benefit with online marketing is that they're raising their hands, and so when they're raising their hands, it's different than the cold call, because when they're raising their hands, they're a warm prospect. But still, you need to be on point when it comes to your conversations with the property owners. And you also need to know how to analyze these deals properly, and how to determine if it's a deal and not a deal, what is the right price. So then that way, when you finally put that property in the contract and you go to the cash buyer, if you do it right, if you analyze the property correctly and you make the right decisions on price, then selling it becomes so easy. Why? Because then you've got a great deal. So it's easy for somebody to take that property off of your hands. And so my recommendation here, if you're a real estate investor and you're not doing online lead generation, you are sleeping. And yes, you can go out and do, agent outreach and all the other strategies, but come on, everybody's online nowadays. I mean, you're here with me, so that proves it there that, you got to get online. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. By the way, I've been away for a bit, just been busy working on stuff here, but we got more videos coming up. And if you're interested, by the way, in us setting all this up for you, there's a link in the description here. Click on that link. There's a short video explains how we can help you set all this stuff up for you, and you actually look over your shoulder in order to be able to help you implement it. So if you're interested, go ahead and click on that link and see what we got. And regardless, appreciate you being here and look forward to our next video.